Hey, Pinellas County. Otis Dixon here, Florida high school graduate, class of 1996, and a proud former USF Bull. Back in the day, sports was everything to me. Now you can relive the excitement with Pinellas County Schools TV Classic Game of the Week. Watch some of the best high school players in the county leave it all on the field and the courts. Don't miss it Thursday night on PCS TV and Pinellas County School YouTube channel. You don't want to miss this classic.
Teams came to Fishhawk Sports Complex and just 2 remain. Last year's runner-up Gaither taking on the Lakewood Spartans in the 9 Root 7-on-7 championship game here in Lithia. Welcome to the Bright House Sports Network 9 Root 7-on-7 title game brought to you by Big County Preps. Alongside the quarterback, Jeff Carlson, I'm Ryan Bass. Jeff, we have had some great 2 days of football out here with some really fantastic teams.
Absolutely. There's been just guys flying down the field over and over. A lot of heat, a lot of humidity. We do have a good cloud cover right now, and they got a huge rainstorm yesterday afternoon. But other than that, it's just been great catches, great throws, great interceptions as well. It's been going on.
And, of course, in the summer you have the rain, the wind. But, hey, we're beating the storm right now for this championship game. But a lot of talent out here. And when you talk about some of the top prospects, we'll see one today with Lakewood, Isaiah Wynn, the offensive lineman. There are some really, really, really talented players out here this weekend.
No doubt about it. I've been watching it all day. It's 8 o'clock in the morning yesterday and today. And like I said, there's just been fantastic play all over the field. One of the quarterbacks here has willed his team into this final as well, so we'll get into that.
Well, if you're talking about one of those quarterbacks, it would be Alex Magoo who willed his team. Right here you're seeing David Mazer, the backup. They split a little bit of time in the last game, but still got it done. They beat Alonzo 27-7. Beat down. And Alex Magoo really, you could see how talented he was if you watch this throw here that really led Gaither past Alonzo.
Oh, absolutely. And I was here earlier in the afternoon in the second round. Epic battle with Spoto, and it was all about Alex Magoo finishing it in grand fashion to get them into the third round, and then finally here as well.
He's committed to FIU, and Jeff, I know you've had an opportunity to work with him. How impressed are you with the talent that Magoo has?
Oh, he's just had natural talent since he was a little boy, and it's just grown and grown, and now he's a big boy and a great young man as well.
Oh, and you speak of talent, Lakewood has plenty of it, and they've got a lot of superstars. And they got to this point by taking down an upstart Newsom team, 26-19 in the other semifinal. Jock Ellison, who was their playmaker at quarterback. They've got athletic guys all over the field, and they're in this championship game today for the first time in their history.
Absolutely. As I got here this afternoon and talked with Coach Corey Moore, said, hey, I've watched you guys for the last couple of days. I've seen some big plays, some great athletes. So this is really, truly about athleticism from Lakewood all over the field. And then Lakewood's and then Gaither has to play that, just find those spots and make their plays. And if they do, it's going to be just an epic battle to finish this game, this tournament.
You hear about Magoo a lot, but that guy, Jock Ellison, is one of the guys that's under the radar, and he is a playmaker for this team, and he's the one that gets this team going.
Yeah, we're talking about Alex, quarterback, Jock Ellison, athlete playing quarterback, and we'll see. He throws a good ball as well, and he's had a lot of big plays throughout the weekend, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, Gaither is now in this championship game for the second straight year. They lost to Eastlake last year. I know they're looking for redemption, but Lakewood is going to be a tough opponent for them in this one. It's coming up next, the 9 Root 7-on-7 championship game right here on Bright House Sports Network. Football in July, Jeff. It's back alongside the quarterback, Jeff Carlson. I'm Ryan Bass. Let's send it down and meet the third member of our team, Brooke Bennett. Brooke, what's going on?
Thank you, Ryan. As you guys talked about in the open, Gaither back in the championship game for the second year in a row. And I asked Coach Stokes, is there that memory of the game last year against Eastlake? He said, I'd be crazy to say it wasn't. And you could point out that maybe Alex didn't look great last year, but he says, we're not putting the finger on anybody. We're out here, win or lose, to definitely play a good game tonight. But you can guarantee the Cowboys are looking to make a statement in this championship game.
Thanks, Brooke. Yeah, Jeff, we talked about it, and I talked to Coach Stokes before the game, and he said they have those memories of last year's game, and they're ready to come out here and try to win the title for the second time. As Alex Magoo's first pass is completed down the sideline to number 14, Malik Huff makes the reception. Let's check out Gaither's offense. You heard about the quarterback, Alex Magoo. He's your starter there under center. Curtis Wilder, Cameron Baker, Lee Cuff, Tyree Grayson, Logan Young, and Joe Bouchard. Those are your starters for the Cowboys. And Magoo already looking good on his first completion of the day, Jeff. This one tipped and caught.
Sometimes in the championship game, you got to have plays like that to get to the championship. You're right about Alex Magoo getting off to a good start. And these guys have had a break, a long break between. So hopefully they're going to have their legs back. And obviously good things starting for Gaither on the first drive.
Great play by Malik Huff to get his hands under it for the touchdown. 2 for 2 so far as Magoo finds Huff, and now the 2-point extra conversion is good. So that's a 1-point conversion. And Gaither's on the board. Didn't take very long, Jeff.
Yeah, that looked a little too easy. And Lakewood has a great defense. They've been playing, really keeping a lot of these teams down to low points throughout the elimination portion of this, and not used to giving it up. But like I said, they're coming off of a long break, so let's see if they can wake up on offense.
We'll see if Jock Ellison can lead Lakewood down the field to answer that Gaither score. Let's check out Lakewood's offense. Mention number 3, Huey.
Look at the pace that both teams are bringing out. During the tournament, a lot of huddling up because of you're just in the heat and humidity, but you get this long break, and all of a sudden now everybody's running up to the line of scrimmage.
Darquez Watson, the big tight end, makes the reception there from Jock Ellison. We talked about him in the open. Elusive quarterback. He's going to be the star for them as well. Tyree Boykins and Andrew Davis are the guys to keep a watch on in this game. Oh, great pass right through the middle, threading the needle there by Jock Ellison to find his man, Tyree Boykins.
You got that right. He did thread that. There were 2 Gaither Cowboys coming from both sides. I think this goes right down the middle. Like you said, the eye of the needle. Look at that. Woo. Boom. And gets it into the end zone.
You've done that a couple of times in your career, huh, Jeff?
Well, I couldn't remember it if I did, but sure, I'll take that.
Touchdown to Darquez Watson, makes the reception from Jock Ellison. And just like that, we've got a tie ball game, 7-7.
Well, and you see the efficiency of both clubs and why they're in this championship game.
So fast-paced this game, Jeff. 2 20-minute halves. Clock doesn't stop until the last minute of the half. As the reception made by number 13, Tyree Grayson. And Lakewood, they have so many guys that are just athletic on this defense, and you can see it all starts with Tyrell Smith and Bonner. Their big safety there as well. They've got some speed and athleticism, and you're going to see it on display today, Jeff.
On just about every play, you're right about that.
As Magoo's pass falls short.
Ryan, I was going to say, the play before that, Alex throws a nice out route, and I said that's why FSU is excited for him to come back. But now that last pass is one that he's got to put on the money. Those are the ones that takes you to the next level. But a great pass, and then just a little bit behind his receiver on the next one.
And Magoo, as we talked about, committed to FIU. He's a Golden Panther.
This is 3rd down, Ryan. They get a stop here. Lakewood will get it back.
Magoo airs it out over the middle and over his intended target. Lakewood will get the ball back with a chance to take the lead.
I'll tell you what, this is something that 7-on-7 brings out for every single team that came. It's 3rd and 3 yards. Where did the ball go? To the back of the end zone. It's the quarterbacks get lured into these big plays, and you just got to be efficient and pick up first downs.
Now, is that the key, Jeff, where you got to just kind of dump it off or mix and match with your plays?
It's a mix and match because in this game, the offense should never be stopped, honestly. If you don't have anybody hitting the quarterback and the quarterback's got 4 seconds to throw the football, the offense should never be stopped, and they stop themselves on those types of situations.
Ellison back the pass. Finds his target. Number 1, Tyree Boykins. And the defense for Gaither, they've got some playmakers there. It all starts with DJ King and Javon Hammond. Nate Ferguson, the transfer from Freedom, back there as well. Coach Stokes says the defensive backfield is going to be the key for his team. They are special, and they're going to be a good group. Missing on that list is Amani Oluwarie, their star cornerback, who is on a trip to Vanderbilt. But still, a lot of playmakers there on that defense.
Well, in the contrast that we just talked about, look at the efficiency of Jock Ellison. He's thrown 3 easy passes to the sideline, very easy completions, easy catches, and they're moving the ball. They got another first down, and they're in the scoring zone.
He's yet to have an incompletion. 6 for 6, make it 7 for 7. To number 7, Andrew Davis. who makes the catch. In his 7th season as the coach of the Lakewood Spartans, that would be Corey Moore. Tons of NFL experience. He's interned and coached with the Jaguars, Bucks. He's a Bethune-Cookman alum, played running back there as well, and has done a fine job with the Spartans program. Catch made there by Darquez Watson.
And we talked about Ellison being an athlete playing quarterback, but he's a drop back quarterback right now. He just sits in the pocket. Corey Moore has him throwing the ball from the pocket. I like guys rolling out. Any athletic quarterback in the short yardage should roll out, because that should be a touchdown just through the hands right there of Watson.
Ellison, that was his first incompletion of the day, but still accurate, and that should have been a touchdown catch.
Well, look, I say give credit right there. I think Wyan got his hand on the ball. I don't know if we can see it one more time, but I'm pretty sure you got to credit the defense there with getting a hand on it. I don't want to give that a drop to Watson if it wasn't a drop.
The quarterback giving some props to the defense, huh?
Trying. Well, credit where credit's due, right?
Exactly. Ellison to the end zone, touchdown. Jock Ellison in a groove right now, and Lakewood answers again.
We're talking with a lot of, does a good job. So he moves him. I like this, what Coach Moore's doing with him. He moves him a little bit. He ends up finding some. I thought he was going to go back to Watson right in the middle, but he finds the touchdown there, and they'll go for another 1-point conversion here. But talking with a lot of guys about this game, because it's so different. 7-on-7 is different than football. If they knocked it down from 4 seconds to 3 seconds, it would make it a lot more realistic for both the quarterback and the defense to get the plays off on time.
I know we talked about that last year, because quarterbacks don't really have that much time to sit in the pocket, think about where they want to go. Is that
not usually?
That extra point is good. So Lakewood now up by a touchdown, and we'll see if Magoo can lead his offense back. Ellison, though, he's been on fire, Jeff. 2 touchdowns, only 1 incompletion. And as we talked about in the open, as he goes, so does this Lakewood team.
Absolutely. And in 7-on-7, of course, it's any quarterback, right? Because that's all we're doing is throwing the ball. But he was efficient. He made the throw that was available to him, and it moved him right down the field into the end zone.
Magoo airs it out, and that pass, that's a drop there.
That's a drop, and that's the play that they ran earlier, and that's an efficient throw. That's what we want. That's what he hit on in the last drive, and this time it's just, we'll call it a drop by Huff.
That through the hands of Huff. Coach Stokes calls Huff dynamic, says he has great hands. Missed one there.
Well, I'll tell you what, every great player that has played in the last 2 days has dropped the ball. There's so many opportunities, so many plays that these kids have been through over the last 2 days. Everybody's dropped a pass. Everybody's thrown a bad pass.
That was a pretty good pass there by Magoo, threading the needle.
Now they're at 3rd down again. So this is their 2nd down situation, and they need to convert past the next line for 1st down.
Huff again the target of Magoo.
Let's see what they choose. Remember, so what they did last time, they had about 3 yards. They're about 5-6 yards at this point that they need. So it's a little bit different, but we'll see if they go for the line or if they go down the field again. Cover 2 defense is very common for most teams here throughout the weekend.
Who fires, and what a pass by Alex Magoo. Is he in for the touchdown? He is. Gaither strikes back. 33-yard touchdown from Alex Magoo. What a pass by the FIU commit.
Pat Jones for Lakewood thought he touched him down. I don't think so, and the referees didn't give it to him. This is a great run. Let's see. No, you can't give him that. Not in flag football, and not even in touch football. You can't give him that.
Cameron Baker with the reception. The underrated wide receiver, the senior, was a favorite target of Magoo's in the semifinals as well.
Absolutely, and just talking about, he's had great plays. He's had a couple drops throughout the weekend. I've watched Gaither play quite a bit of their games this weekend.
And the conversion, he's scrambling out, and it's through the hands. No good.
Very few calls. Alex Magoo is working the referee, looking for a hold or probably a hold, not interference, a hold. But very few yellow flags on the field throughout the weekend.
Well, with that missed conversion, Gaither now down by a point, but we've seen a lot of offense in the opening minutes here of this 9-root 7-on-7 championship game on Bright House Sports Network. Lakewood with a 1-point lead over Gaither here in the opening couple of minutes of the 9-root 7-on-7 championship game. Gaither back in it for the second straight year, trying to win a title after being defeated by Eastlake last year. So much talent all over the field, Jeff, we've seen throughout the weekend, and just some of the guys, star ranks that we've seen throughout the last couple of days. One of them you'll see for Lakewood, that would be the offensive lineman Isaiah Wynn, who committed to Georgia earlier this morning, but there is a lot of highly touted recruits playing this weekend.
I was talking about that with some coaches around all day. There is just so much talent around at this event, so much.
There you get a look at Isaiah Wynn, one of the best offensive linemen in the Bay Area. Brooke Wynn, one of the best players in the area, committed to Georgia this morning.
I think so. We're going to hear more from Wynn later in the game, but I want to point this out. This game we're watching right now is a rematch of last year's semifinal game, and both Gaither and Lakewood won one of those games last year when they played. So this is the rematch, but Coach Moore says his staff and his players are a lot more serious and prepared. He uses this as an example: AIO, adapt, improvise, and overcome. So we're going to see how well they are able to maintain this through this game.
Yeah, Brooke, he used that motto this year to try to help this team get over the hump. A very talented group. That one bobbled and incomplete. A very talented group that, quite frankly, a lot of people don't think have lived up to their expectations over the last couple of years because they've had guys like Isaiah Wynn and superstars and highly touted recruits.
They've come close, though. They have come very close. And, you know, you get into those deep into the playoffs and anything can happen, just like right now. Anything can happen. I'll tell you something, though. Last year, at least what I remember, Gaither gave up a lot of easy touchdowns deep down the middle. So far, even with their speed, Lakewood has not pressed it. They're mostly going short.
As you see another pass there.
Yeah, see coming back to the ball at 10, 12 yards. But I think they're just lulling Gaither to sleep, and then they're going to go over the top because they've had some explosive plays over the weekend.
And you mentioned that last year, Jeff. Eastlake aired it out, Pete DeNovo to Artavis Scott and George Campbell, and Gaither just couldn't hang with it.
Yeah, you're right. And that could just be pure exhaustion. This time they got about 2-3 hours of rest, and they come back and much quicker. You know, as you get your legs back just a little bit. I know most of these guys have just been dying because there's just so many plays, and it's the pace. I mean, look at our pace right now.
And you're talking about 2 straight days of football, Jeff, where you're playing game after game after game. You know, today was the playoffs, but yesterday they had pool play. So yeah, these guys, 2 straight days, are playing 10 or so football games.
When I say to Preston Jackson, the curator of this whole thing, very well done. You know, you had a game at 9, you had a half an hour to wait, come back at 10, and just throughout the day you just had played for 30 minutes, had 30 minutes off, played again, and I just thought it was well run.
Preston does a great job running these events. Luckily, we've been able to beat the storm today.
This is great weather. This is about as good as it gets.
There you go. Preston enjoying the view from the press box.
Is that the owner's box?
That would be the owner's club up there. Lakewood up by 1 so far. More than halfway through this opening half. As Magoo trying to lead his team down the field, and that one can't be handled. So another drop by Gaither. And this is something that Coach Stokes said last year. They just shot themselves in the foot, and it seems like they're doing the same thing early on so far here.
This is a conversion that they've got to get. 3rd and 15, got to get to the next line. Alex Magoo, I'll tell you what, go back to the game they played against Spoto. Dale Caparasso, the coach of Spoto, is still here. But they were playing on the opposite field. My son plays for Tampa Catholic. They were on the opposite field. I'm watching both games at the same time. But I don't know if it was triple overtime or quadruple. But Alex had to hit a pass. He thought he did in the back of the end zone. It was called an incompletion. Very upset, composed himself, and rips another ball from 40 yards out into the end zone and tied it up in just big time to get to the next round. So he's got the arm strength to do anything he wants. This time cannot convert on 3rd and 15. There's Caparasso, Coach Caparasso.
He started off hot, Magoo did, but now 5 for 13. And just seems like he can't get the timing down with his receivers. A couple of overthrows as we've seen, but it doesn't help when your receivers are dropping the ball too.
Drop passes, absolutely. Like I said, everybody's had everything this weekend. A lot of great catches, and there's been a lot of drops.
We've seen that connection. Jock Ellison to Andrew Davis once again. Lakewood on the move down the field.
Yeah, let's see if they try to go over the top with anything. Like I said, they've run a lot of even 4 and 5 guys down 10 yards and just find the hole in the zone. Come back to the quarterback, put your hands up, let the quarterback find that hole. And there's 5 guys coming back to the quarterback. There's going to be somebody open. It's just up for Ellison to find him. And so far, he's done a great job of it.
He's been doing a great job picking apart Gaither's defense as he finds Watson there. Coach Stokes calls Ellison his Mr. Everything. I mean, he plays quarterback, wide receiver, cornerback. Well known as a wide receiver, rated by a 2-star according to Rivals. A couple of offers, has some interest from USF. I know he likes the Bulls. He's thrown for them a couple of times. As that's another completion for Ellison. And the funny thing is, he's playing quarterback out here, Jeff. Usually, there's a couple other guys that go under center, but talking to Coach Moore, he said that Ellison doesn't really like to play quarterback. He would prefer to be at a wide receiver position, but he's doing what he can to help this team, and obviously, he's doing a pretty good job throwing the ball today.
He throws the ball quite well, and it's like you said, efficient. He's throwing the ball efficiently, but the calls are good calls for him.
And that over the middle. No pads in this one, so lowering the shoulders.
I'll tell you
not
what,
a good idea
I've been impressed for the most part with all of the players staying off each other, and very few major collisions. There's a few, but guys are wearing mouthpieces for the majority, whatnot. But guys have not come up with black eyes, teeth getting knocked out, and that's possible. Just the size, speed, and strength of all these guys. But they've all done a good job of taking care of themselves. Take care of each other, shall we say.
Ellison's pass tipped, and they're going to call it an interception. They do.
I don't think he caught that.
That's a turnover on downs.
Yep.
Malcolm Johns, the linebacker.
But that, Alex Magoo gets the turnover that he needs to get his team back.
Almost picked off.
I think it did.
The nose of the football hit the ground.
It rubbed the ground just a teeny bit, but it does give Gaither their advantage of possession because they started the day on offense, so they gained that back even though they're down by 1.
Let's see if Magoo can give Gaither the lead. Over the top and a little too high. Right now, Magoo.
Ryan, take a look.
Seems like
how many guys are 40 yards down the field right now? Right? He's got one guy underneath that they're covering man-to-man, or at least they're doing a good job of it. But all of their guys are deep. So they're asking Magoo to throw deep passes down the field, letting those two safeties in the back just kind of play center field and then break on his move. And it's just tough. It's tough to do that over and over. It's they're lower percentage passes, and right now Lakewood's winning that game on efficiency, just throwing the 10-yarders and keeping the ball moving.
I know Magoo wasn't very happy with his performance in last year's championship game. That's a great grab hauled in by Malik Huff.
And he stays down on the ground. He extended and made a great catch to pick up the first down, but could be just about anything there as far as injury goes. He extends himself and catches. It looks like the defender caught him in the back hip. Let's see what happens.
Huff down on the ground now. Looks like the ball actually went into his throat when he came down on it.
I was looking at the contact from the defender.
Is he a little shaken up?
Yeah, but he's going to be just fine. Yeah, these kids have been tough as well.
Malik Huff, 63 yards so far in the game. He's got the only touchdown reception for Gaither. No pads, but it's still a physical game out here, Jeff.
It's extremely physical.
Especially when you've got two teams that want to win a championship.
Well, I'll tell you what, just yesterday, Jordan Trombach was against my son, who's playing wide receiver at Tampa Catholic. They went at it, and he got his forearm up in his throat, and I was like, okay, all right, I see it.
And Magoo's pass is picked off by number 2, DJ King, reading the quarterback and getting the interception as the ball now back to the Spartans.
And the touch pass just a little short. Again, you got your receiver running away from you, and this is down the middle basically, but he throws the touch pass. And he was right there, Smith right there, making a nice pick.
Tyrell Smith on the interception.
And Ryan, a rule here for this tournament only, if that was returned all the way back, it's points. Just an interception doesn't gain you any points.
Ellison over the top and incomplete. A flag on the play.
Wow.
And that's rare, Jeff. We usually don't see
Very
a lot of
few.
flags in 7-on-7.
Very few flags. I don't think it was deserved. I think this was a let him play kind of a throw because the ball's short. I don't like the. I thought it was a great defense, and the offensive player who was Adrian Adams, he had a chance for the ball, and I don't think that defender interfered with him. But they get the call, and it's a 15-yard play. Well, actually, I thought it was 10 yards. I thought they were going 10 yards in this tournament for that. See, Carlson's right. They
Carlson
back it
knows.
up 5. It's 15 yards and a first down in real football, 7-on-7. It's 10 yards on a shorter field.
Ellison out to Adams. Makes the grab. And it seems right now, Jeff, when you look at Gaither's defense, they're kind of playing back a little bit. They're not pressing and allowing Jock Ellison to just
They
pick
don't
up
want
the
him going
defense.
over the top. You see the clock winding down here at the first half.
Couple ticks left as Ellison goes to the end zone.
Oh, and they got over the
And a
line.
touchdown. 3 seconds to go, and Ellison finds Davis for the score.
That's pretty efficient. Taking that clock down to 2. Senior quarterback and sharp as again threading the needle. 2 Gaither defenders watching that ball slip between their fingers.
How impressed have you been with Ellison and the way he's been able to pick apart the defense
because warming up, he's kind of just throwing us off, and you can only imagine the amount of balls and warm-up balls these quarterbacks have thrown over the last 2 days, but really throwing the ball well here.
And just toss it up and let him go get it. Number 7, Andrew Davis brings it down. And Ellison right now is on fire.
Yes,
and Lakewood
he is.
makes it 21-13.
And Andrew Davis makes it look easy for him. There's been a couple of very tall receivers that have gone up and made some great catches throughout the weekend.
That's 7, Andrew Davis, the senior. Reminds you a lot of Rodney Adams, the number 7 that Lakewood had last year. Big play ability, and you saw Adams there making that reception. Coach Moore says he's going to be unbelievable when he grows up, and I'll tell you what, they're going to need him to. They need that big-time receiver in this offense.
I am not a big fan at all of throwing the fade route on points, on a play that is an all-or-nothing play where you need points. But when you got a guy like Andrew Davis, maybe you just throw it up to him every time, right? But generally speaking, if you're in short yardage or you're in a play make-or-break play, I think you got to roll out your athletic quarterback and give him 3 or 4 options as opposed to trying to throw a pinpoint pass. That guy can go up and over a lot of defenders, but that defender jumps at the right time and can just knock the ball away. I am not a big fan of fades on those types of plays.
Davis made it look easy.
He sure did.
As Magoo trying to answer, dumps it off. Nice little shake and bake move there by number 5.
Oh, they gave him time back on the
Jalen
clock.
Cochran.
I thought we were down to 2 seconds, and now all of a sudden we have 16. How'd that work out?
Last minute of play, the clock stops. And each half as Magoo gets the touchdown with 7 ticks to go, and that is exactly what this Cowboys team needed.
Wow, I guess so. And I guess that's just as efficient as their counterparts, right? 2 plays and into the end zone. That's a nice ball on the move and gets it into the end zone.
Great
and they're going to go
play.
for 2, Ryan, to tie it up here before halftime.
Alex Guerin got the reception there, the senior wide receiver. After the missed conversion, Gaither trying to tie it up here, and Magoo does.
Wow. I was
Great
blocked
pass.
by a referee and a parabolic microphone, but I guess he did get over the line.
Great throw by Magoo.
Yeah, I didn't think it was far enough down the field. Oh, it really
Just
was,
over
but
the
they
line.
gave it to him. The ball wasn't over the line. That's actually a great defense. Show it again. That ball never got across the line. But maybe we just have different rules for that as well. But check this out. This ball is out in front.
That would not be a touchdown catch.
I don't think so. But great conversion. And they tied it up. See this one? That's the word place to look at. See that? I don't think that ever gets to the line.
Well, with the added time and the catch.
Where'd that time come from?
Well, it looks like Corey Moore is protesting that call right now.
I'll take more seconds. He says, give me 16 more seconds.
Moore not very happy.
I think he might be fighting what we were talking
About the clock.
Oh, the clock, or the not getting in the end zone?
He was talking about the clock.
There were no timeouts, though, Ryan, throughout this tournament. They play the clock and game's finished. There's no timeouts.
Ellison up top. Ooh, batted down nicely by Gaither.
We're all tied up. Trail receiver there.
We are all tied up after one half of football in the title game. Right now, one team's got to separate themselves. 21-21 going into the break. And we've got championship football after the halftime on Bright House Sports Network. After one half of football, we are all tied up at 21 between Gaither and Lakewood. And the man that puts on this fabulous event down there on the sidelines with our Brooke Bennett is Preston Jackson. Brooke, Preston does a fantastic job with these events.
Absolutely, and Preston, in our fourth year, I think we can definitely say over the last day and a half, you've seen some amazing competition, and just your local just stretch over to Orlando with Freedom Orlando here. Talk about what you've seen over these last days.
Freedom Orlando definitely was a wild card today. They came over from over in Orlando area, came over, had a really good day. They were the wild card, didn't know much about them. Add in our Pinellas talent, our Hillsborough County talent, the Polk talent that came over, and it turned into a really good competitive event that lasted the last 2 days.
Preston, I asked you this question as we were kind of getting over notes, and the argument is 7-on-7, and we know it's on the rise, but so many say, you know, it does nothing to get you ready for the main season. But these teams out here play like it really is a championship game, and this prepares them for the fall. What is your take on that?
More the 7-on-7 is becoming a part of football. It's starting to become for the preparation process for the players and the teams. The camaraderie, the team building, the being able to learn how to win, when to win, being able to be in championship situations. So it's a great coaching environment. The kids kind of come out here and they kind of learn how to play, and they learn their players. So this is it's starting to become more so a part of real football.
Well, the name of this 7-on-7 is the 9 route, and you said, hey, it just sounds good, but it definitely does have a meaning. Can you tell our viewers kind of where you got that from and the meaning of that, especially on a 7-on-7 tournament?
Well, there's this thing called the passing tree that coaches, offensive coordinators use for a long time to number the different different routes. So when they started using the numbering system, the 9 route itself is a deep post. So it sounded good. It kind of had a nice ring to it. We added the football element to it, and it sticks.
Awesome. Well, Preston, your fourth year, you're doing great. We hope to see it grow continuously, and we've got another half out here. So, Ryan, let's send it back to you so we can get these two teams back out on the field here.
Yeah, I know one of them wants to win a championship. We're all tied up at the half, 21-21. Your first half statistics and your second half of football coming up next on Bright House Sports Network. It's all knotted up, 21-21 at the half between Gaither and Lakewood in the 4th annual 9 Route 7-on-7 championship game. How'd we get here, Jeff? Well, some good play from the quarterbacks. Jock Ellison started us off with Lakewood, and he had himself a half, just threading the needle into the touchdown. And are you impressed with the way that he was able to distribute the ball down the field?
Absolutely. I was surprised at the play calling because I thought they were going to go over the top and go big, and they didn't. They came up short, and he was extremely efficient. Everybody was coming back to the ball and making catches. And then Alex Magoo got off to a good start as well, but then had that falter there with the interception, and then it was a fight to the finish to get to the end of the first half.
Yeah, it was. Davis got the touchdown there, but Magoo fires back, gets his team to tie it up before the half. And that's how we got here, 21-21. You could see Lakewood right now, those little dink and dump passes they've been doing, their completion percentage 78. But really the turnover, only one for either team. So last year, Gaither had a couple of turnovers, which ended up doing them in against East Lake.
Yep.
Here, they have that one, and only one penalty as well. But Gaither really came back at the end of that half, Jeff, which it seemed like Lakewood was about to distance themselves, but Magoo gets that touchdown, and now we're all knotted up going into the second half.
Yeah, you betcha. That only took them 2 plays to answer that and get back there, and they converted a 2-point conversion to tie it up. So we're looking for a great second half, no doubt about it.
Well, the quarterback play has been dominant here. Which one is going to lead their team to a title, Jock Ellison or Alex Magoo? Find out next as we resume football on Bright House Sports Network. 20 minutes of football remaining, and one of these teams will call themselves a champion. Gaither and Lakewood all tied up at 21 as we begin our second half. And really, both of these teams getting to this point, playing some really good football teams. Gaither got past Alonzo. Lakewood beat Newsom. Eastlake, that was a surprise. Last year's champ getting knocked out by Newsom. Both these teams, a tough road to get here, but did pretty well in doing so. And Lakewood, they are not having a very busy summer on the 7-on-7 tournament, are they, Brooke?
No, and actually Coach Moore told me before, this is the only 7-on-7 tournament that they're going to do. The last time this team was on the field was their spring game where they went down and played Booker T. Washington, and Coach Moore says, I don't remember the score. We had a little, they had a lot. He's definitely been talking about stepping the bar of competition up. So winning today, I think, would be a good start for them getting into, as just we're a couple weeks out from summer conditioning for the team going into the fall.
Well, thank you, Brooke. Yeah, Coach Moore talked about how he wants his team to come out here and just play well. They don't necessarily have to win the entire tournament. They have a shot to now,
yeah, I was gonna say,
but to just play well.
Then he should already be happy about it.
Because they have been doing just that as Ellison begins the second half the way he did the first.
Starts off with a nice little half rollout, just very controlled rollout, and he finds his big tight end, Darquez Watson, again. That guy's got good size. I like the way he moves around.
2 offers so far. Coach says he plays like a wide receiver.
He looks like
Knows the tight end body. That pass hit the dirt and they call it an incompletion.
Doesn't stop the clock though. We're playing 20-minute half. Right, we got a little timing snafu at the end of the first half, and it just turned out that the clock did not stop when they pushed the button for it to stop, so that's why the time was added on. Hopefully we won't have that as we get down to the very end. That was a little bit confusing, I think, for both teams to know if they had to play offense or defense and for how long. But Gaither took advantage of it and put a ball in right before the half.
Ellison over the middle, and again threading the needle. That one couldn't be hauled in, but he has been able to find his targets and throw it past a couple of defenders.
Yep, right there. He's just trying to find somewhere to go with it, and almost came up with the big play, Adrian Adams. But now they got third down and a long 19. Oh, 14, and we got it down as. Different 7-on-7 tournaments have it lined up differently. These are 15, 15, and 10.
Ellison up top, and that's picked off. What a play in the end zone as Gaither takes advantage, and he's going almost to the distance. A flag on the play, but a fantastic defensive play there by number 23, Malcolm Johns.
They needed 15. He went for the big one, and you can see where the receiver was. Boykins was out behind him, but he kind of banged into him and lost his track a little bit. It gave the defender that chance. Now, if he would have gotten all the way back to the end zone, it would have been points. Instead, it's just offense gets the ball back.
Johns, a fantastic play there, leaping up to make the interception. Both teams now with a turnover. Coach Stokes just talked about that defensive backfield. When you got so many guys that can make plays back there, you can see it now. Johns is one of them, DJ King, Javon Hammond. And again, we talked about Amani Oruwariye, who wasn't even here in the tournament today. He's up at Vandy, but they've got a lot of talent in that defensive backfield. Goose pass falls short.
My former Buccaneer teammate Ricky Reynolds on the sideline coaching that defensive backfield now for a few years there, helping Coach Stokes out. There he is. Still looks great. Looks like he can play. His face doesn't get any older. That's the problem.
Well, neither does yours.
Oh, right. You didn't have to do that, my friend.
The youthful Jeff Carlson.
In my heart.
Everyone running deep for the Cowboys. Another drop. That's the third or fourth drop we've seen by Gaither receivers in this game that have killed their drives.
Yeah, not an easy catch, and they put themselves in that situation where they needed the 15.
Goose frustrated with himself, 8 for 18 so far in the game. But overall, he's played pretty well.
Oh, absolutely.
And an improvement, Jeff, because I know you've been able to work with him, just how much he's improved from last year to now.
Yeah, I haven't worked with him in the last year, but his mechanics look better this year than they did last year, that's for sure. His footwork was not very good last year. Threw a lot of errant passes, and weren't able to put it together. But today he's on the money.
Over 1,700 passing yards last year from Magoo, 22 touchdowns. Not as fast-paced the opening 5 minutes of this half as we had the first half.
Could exhaustion be sitting in after 2 long days?
Back-to-back receptions made by Watson.
Ryan, I haven't seen any pulled muscles, really. Cramps, even in the mornings and whatnot, but I haven't seen anybody pull. And sometimes when you get to that exhaustion level, I'm please knock on wood for all these kids, no pulled muscles, but I really haven't seen any throughout the 2 days.
That pass hauled in. Great play by Davis.
Very short game.
Davis, a twin, his brother Adrian not here today. Davis, Coach Moore joked with me last year they had Shaquille and Shaquem Griffin, the 2 Griffin twins that are up at UCF. He says we always have to have a pair of twins on the team.
And if you're Lakewood fans, there is a great article in ESPN, the magazine, about the Griffin twins. I just got it in the mail yesterday, but a really great article about them.
Shaquille and Shaquem, their story told across the nation, a great feature on them. Both expect to see some playing time as freshmen at UCF this year. Lakewood, a program that is well known for sending players to the next level. 47 players have gone to play college football under Coach Moore's tenure in the last 7 years. And pass broken up. Good play defensively by the Cowboys. And now we're starting to see the defenses play a little bit better as opposed to the offense.
Yeah, you would think after all these repetitions that the offense would be better in the second half, but it looks like the defense is warming up.
Good play by Javon Hammond, senior defensive back, making the play.
Well, let's see. They're going to go for efficiency or go for the big play? I say you get a first down.
Let's see what Magoo does here.
Going deep.
Now keep in mind, quarterbacks have 4 seconds to throw the football.
Well, he exceeded the 4-second limit. They called that second down. That was a dead ball before he threw it. Bring up 2nd and 15.
The newest member of the Georgia Bulldog family, Isaiah Wynn, one of the top recruits in the country, is with our Brooke Bennett.
Isaiah, so big day for you, not only out here playing all weekend, but you made that commitment to become a dog between Vandy. What was it that Georgia really made it go, this is where I belong next year?
I just felt like they could help me develop not only athletically, but also academically and physically too.
Just talk real quick as we're waiting for you to get back out on the field, what this tournament has meant to you guys and the team.
It just meant a lot because some of these teams we won't see in the season. So, I mean, getting out here and competing and letting them know that we're the best in the Bay Area is a good thing.
Getting your commitment out of the way early, you now have summer conditioning to go through. How does that allow you to really just focus on this final year with the Spartans?
I mean, honestly, recruitment really wasn't getting in the way of anything. Coach Moore keeps our head level, so I mean, it really wasn't affecting. But right now, it is kind of a big weight taking off my shoulder. I could just now that I know where my mind is and where I'm going, so it's good.
Well, congratulations on the commitment and good luck. And hey, how about wrapping up today with a championship win for the Spartans? It would really make it perfect.
Yeah.
Back to you guys.
Yeah, that would be a pretty good day for Isaiah Wynn, the 4-star recruit, one of the top offensive linemen in the Bay Area and in the country.
Hey, back to the football just for a second. We can get back to Wynn as well, but Cameron Baker dropped the ball on second down. We're talking about efficiency, and they went with efficiency. He drops the ball. 3rd and 15, they got to have it. He just snags that ball out of the air and picks up the first down and keeps Gaither on the field.
That's the senior wide receiver, Baker. As the catch made, oh, look at the sweet moves by Malik Huff. Him and Magoo right now have a good chemistry going. Huff is dynamic, according to Coach Stokes. He says he understands defenses, reads them well, and has some good hands. Yeah. And he'll be one of the featured receivers for this Cowboys team this upcoming season after losing CGOW Gaither, who was their top target last year.
Well, Huff's had a good day, and glad to see him up and going full speed again. In the first half, he was down for a few moments.
Magoo sends it to the back of the end zone. That one batted down. Good play defensively by Romello Presley.
Magoo had some success throughout the tournament. This is a soft touch pass, but so far 2 balls that he's gone this way against Lakewood. 1 intercepted, 1 knocked down. Presley makes the great defensive play in the back of the end zone.
So now the defense is the story of the second half. Usually unusual here too, Jeff. You don't see teams really huddle up a lot in the 7-on-7. At least taking a couple of seconds before the snap. Goo fires to the end zone, touchdown. And the Cowboys are the first ones to score in this second half.
And that's why I like rolling out your quarterback in these situations. And that goes for real football or 7-on-7. You move over, it changes the angles for the defense, and you all of a sudden, before 4 seconds, you're certainly going to find 1 of 3 or 4 options in the end zone.
Good with the accuracy. Gets the Cowboys on the board. Rolling out. And took more than the 4 seconds allowed. So that called off.
He should have thrown it to the flat immediately. Alex is asking about time, but no, you can't. He goes, oh, this is the touchdown. That was not the extra point, but you see, nice and easy, about 2.5 seconds, maybe 3 seconds. Plenty of time. The other time, he looked, kept running, looked back, kept looking. 4 seconds is a great call by the referees. That should not have been an extra point.
Hughes' numbers pretty good on the day. A couple of those incompletions, 4 or 5 of them drop balls.
Yeah, absolutely. There's been a number of drops on that completion and attempts list.
Adrian Adams, the sophomore, making the reception.
And we do have rain coming down too, Ryan. I don't know it'll affect the guys very much, but we do have rain coming down.
Well, it's Florida in the summer. It's usually going to rain. That's a touchdown reception made by Tyree Boykins.
That's a really good throw and catch. I thought he was late. I thought Ellison let the ball go late where there was going to be a defender to either intercept or knock it down. See how he is? And he sees him moving, but I thought he was late with the ball. But Boykins is right there. Really no play made on him.
Boykins back with the team. Missed yesterday. He was at Samford working out for them.
That's a really good football conference. Might be a great place for him to go.
Right back to Boykins, but he can't make the reception, so we got a tie ball game, 27-27. Defense is the story here in this second half. Which offense is going to come to life and lead their team to a championship? We're all tied up at 27. We got a great ball game on our hands. We're all tied up at 27, 8 minutes to go in this game here, the 9-Root 7-on-7 championship game presented by Big County Preps. A lot of storylines in the Bay Area this football season coming up in 2013. I mean, you have who's going to be the state title contenders this year, whether it be Plant, East Lake, Lakewood, one of them as well, Pasco. Which recruit is going to have a breakout year this year? We mentioned a lot of 4-star guys, none of those big-time recruits like we had in the class of 2013, and a lot of new faces in new places, a lot of new head coaches around the Bay Area. Which new head coach will have the most success? Will it be Matt Thompson, a Jesuit, Mike Gregory, Coach Greg over at Tampa Catholic?
I hope it's him. I got no reason for that. I just hope it's him.
Coach Greg, the UCF alum. A lot of new coaches, though. Sean Taylor takes over at Robinson. Rick Kravitz at Gibbs. Chris Miller at Seminole. Ryan Hearn. Admiral Farragut. A lot of teams changing head coaches this offseason.
Got it. Go with it.
Magoo down the middle. And that pass not hauled in. And I think you started to see a little bit of a change in their game plan, Jeff, because early on in the game they're going deep, and now Magoo's finally starting to find his receivers over the middle.
Well, he's throwing the ball, he's putting it on him, and that's another drop pass. I mean, that's an efficient pass. And he was running. If he caught that, he's continuing. but ball goes off the end of the fingers. My son says that these gloves that are so great, when they're wet, they're more slippery than, they're great when they're dry, but they do get a little slippery, so we'll see.
Another drop as well, and you talked about the rain. It's starting to drizzle here. That can have an impact on how these guys are making catches, and right now you can see it's affecting the Cowboys.
Yeah, well, this is a great defensive play right there. Albert Laskett was on top of that play, so that was a defensive play, but these guys like to throw old footballs. Old footballs get extremely slick when they get wet. They don't have to be very wet, but when they don't have any tread on them, they're super slick. So could be for both quarterbacks and receivers.
See how it affects them the rest of the game. A lot of these receivers.
Get a close-up of that football.
Wearing the gloves.
It's an old ball.
Drew up top. Pass caught.
First down.
It's number 17, Alex Guerin. 5'9" wide receiver with the reception, his first of the day.
Is that his first? I thought he had a touchdown in there. He got that touchdown at with
cutting him short.
Whatever seconds it was left in the first half. He got that nice throw and catch and run. He had that run to the end zone. See that ball? That's an old. I mean, when I say old, I just mean it's not like 100 years old, but that is a slick ball.
Same ball from your playing days?
I think that is the one. I think I brought that from 82, 83.
Who drops back, puts it over the middle. Nice touch over the middle to Huff for the touchdown. Great pass by Magoo to Huff, and Gaither gets on the scoreboard again.
And there's again the touch pass that we were talking about. Had lack of success on the first couple. This one, touch passes it over that linebacker trying to chase, and Huff puts it in the back of the end zone.
There was no one in that shot over the middle.
Man to man,
all
clear
green.
it out. Let your athlete come across the middle with the one-on-one, and you know not very many guys can hang with them. Throw the touch pass, get a touchdown.
Magoo for the conversion. Extra point. Batted up and caught. Oh, dropped.
Oh,
looked like he had it.
I was about to say better
dropped.
lucky than good, and get the right bounce, because didn't they convert their first extra point on a tip? Remember that? I think that was their first extra point.
Huff makes the touchdown catch.
That touch pass.
Huff back in the game after that injury, making a good play, and there fumbled by Logan Young.
Credit Aaron Graham. Watch that one more time, and credit Aaron Graham with knocking that ball out, not allowing him to catch that pass.
Lakewood held quiet here. Only one touchdown so far in this second half. See if Jock Ellison can get him on the board again.
There's a guy coming back to the football. Got to teach those receivers, come back to the football. Don't just keep running away from me. I need you to come back to the football. And he does a good job, and they pick up the first down.
Spoken from a true quarterback.
Oh, no doubt. I'm teaching, come back to the football. Always. Put your hands out, too. A lot of times there's a lot of linebackers right there. Don't let the ball get to your body. I'd say that right now to Watson. Don't let the ball get to your body. Come back and put your hands out, because that defense, that linebacker that's coming back, he's got his hand out reaching back, and he's going to get to it before you do.
81 yards so far in the game for Watson. Big tight end. That'll be a sack.
Not going backwards, so no big deal. Whether the whistle blows by the referee or the quarterback throws an incompletion, same difference. It just moves on to the next down.
Corey Moore of Lakewood, 7th season as the head man of the Spartans. He's a Lakewood alum. Ellison rolls out. That one batted away. Great play defensively by Javon Hammond. Gotta like his nice size and frame there in the defensive backfield.
Absolutely, but I would say this is his first bad decision. Or, you know what? Run that again. He is pass interference, or you would call that what would we call that? The ball wasn't in the air yet, but they knocked the receiver down. I thought it was a bad decision by Ellison, but it turns out the receiver was knocked down by 2 defenders before he got through there.
Not many bad decisions from Ellison on the day.
Not at all.
Yes. That one can't find its target.
Yeah, and I don't think that was a good throw. But we're seeing our vantage point is ground level. It's not as good as during the regular game. We came down, and so what happened yesterday afternoon, a major thunderstorm came through, just rainstorm, and the field got kind of torn up. So we are pushed into, we're about 40 yards away from the normal football field here at this facility. So we decided to come down and now to get a little closer to the action, but we're ground level, so we're seeing it from a different angle.
That pass lofted in the air. Oh, what a big play.
Why not?
Caught. Calling that a touchdown?
Absolutely, it should be. Andrew Davis, unless he's out of bounds. Oh no, they're asking for it, so he must be out of bounds. Must have been on the line.
A great play either way by Davis to go up and get it, but we'll see here.
I heard discussions, Ryan, over the weekend about what the rules actually are with getting pushed out. That looks like a touchdown to me. 1 foot in, unless his toe was on the line. And I don't think we have a camera on that far sideline to see if his toe was green. If there was any green between his toe and the sideline, that was another great catch.
Davis with a good play. Unfortunately, no challenges given the coaches.
No challenges
in the 7-on-7 tournament. So that play stands.
Boy, it was close.
As an out of bounds. Another drop pass by the Cowboys. Huff can't haul it in.
And watch, like I said, when they're dry, those gloves just stick to the football. When they're wet, it goes right through them. He had 2 hands right on that ball, just slipped right through.
About 5 or 6 drops now for Cowboy receivers. Not helping out the quarterback today.
It might be more than 5 or 6 if you go back and count them. I think it might be more than that.
13-29, Alex McGough is over the middle. Huff, once again, don't leave that man open. As he's over the middle, great pass by McGough to Huff. 131 yards so far on the day for Huff, and that connection has been very, very successful in the afternoon.
You know, I keep talking about touch passes from McGough. He throws another one here. It takes a mature quarterback to have the confidence to throw that touch pass. So many quarterbacks try to bullet it, get it there as fast as possible, but then all of a sudden they get knocked down by the defender. Does a nice job putting it up and over where Huff can get it.
That pass aimed at the ground.
It's fine, it's first down.
And McGough, you know, you like to use these 7-on-7 tournaments too to establish chemistry with your guys. And it seems like Huff and McGough are starting to do that today.
Oh, absolutely. No, when Brooke was talking with Preston about 7-on-7, 7-on-7 is a great way to get experience. There's a lot of freshmen and sophomores that are getting experience that they could get no other way. It's not real football, but it certainly teaches you a lot about the game.
And it's the reps.
Oh,
especially during the summertime.
Absolutely. But we're down to 34 seconds. Gaither, they just need to keep the completion and keep the clock running now.
That pass.
They just need to complete a 1-yard pass and the game's over. I'm not sure why they're stopping the clock with incompletions. Just throw a 1-yarder.
Under a minute left. Under a minute left. Last minute of each half, the clock stops.
Not on a completion.
Incomplete. That was incomplete.
I know. Oh. Incomplete. No, I'm saying incomplete. All they have to do is complete a 1-yard pass, and this clock is dead, is what I'm saying. The game's over if they throw a 1-yarder. I go under center. That's another thing I don't like about this is being in shotgun all 100% of the time. See, now what did they choose to do? Throw a ball that could not be intercepted, and now the game's over.
And that clock is going to keep running.
Yep, game is over. And that's all they needed to do on first down. They did not need to make that a soap opera and get to third down for that.
And they're going to milk this thing out. Your champions in the 4th annual 9-Root 7-on-7 tournament
and Ryan,
is the Gaither Cowboys.
You know what this comes down to? That 1-inch toe on the corner over there to Davis.
And McGough and his boys can celebrate redemption from losing in last year's title game. They're now your 9-Root 7-on-7 champions.
Do you think they take it seriously?
You think they're excited?
Yeah, that's a lot of hard work to get to that point.
Great play by that quarterback, that duo. McGough to Huff was fantastic on the day. As Gaither brings home the Crystal Trophy, they're your champions. Jeff, how impressed were you with the way, even despite his receivers dropping the balls, Magoo was still able to lead his team down the field and eventually get that game-winning touchdown.
That's what we're talking about. Why are we out here? It teaches these kids to be together, had to work for that championship, and they had to overcome hardships with drops and different things. So he raised himself to a championship-level quarterback right now. Yes, it's not the state championship in Orlando that we will be broadcasting in a few months, but it is certainly great for the team, and it's great for the Lakewood Spartans as well to be out here, play all those plays. And look, it's a 6-point margin. You'd say we could have had it 33-32, but no, that's as close as we possibly could have been because that ball on that end zone sideline was as close as possible.
That's what it takes. A game of inches, Jeff, and now Gaither can call themselves the champion, but Jock Ellison did all he could, but Jason Stokes' Cowboys are your champs. Trophy presentation is after this. Your 2013 9 Route 7-on-7 champions, the Gaither Cowboys. After losing to Eastlake last year, they come back and get the trophy this year. A team effort, and really it was a game of inches, Jeff. We talk about it. It was so close to being a tie ball game. And you see by this play here, the touchdown, that would have been a touchdown had he been in.
You know, we're on the wrong side of that line to see. We have to give the referee the benefit of the doubt, obviously. But, man, oh, man, I think I would have just given it to him because it was such a great play.
Davis made that play.
His foot was certainly close to being all the way in. His toe must have just been touching the first, splinter of grass that had white on it. But, boy, they were just an inch away.
And that's the difference between a champion and a team that falls in second place. Let's send it now down to Preston Jackson, where the Gaither Cowboys are going to get their championship trophy.
Congratulations to our 2013 champion Gaither Cowboys. A very gracious runner-up in Lakewood. They put on a fabulous game, a 33-27, a 42-point halftime, a fabulous game. Just what we wanted. Victorious Gaither Cowboys. Well, let's give a hand to our opponents, Lakewood Spartans, please.
All right, Spartans.
With that said, we'll start off with our MVP, Gaither High School 2014 quarterback, Alex Magoo.
All right, good. A-town.
Stay here, Alex, she want to talk to you. Stay here. And our 2013 9-route Bright House Sports Network BCP champions, the Gaither Cowboys.
How about it, baby? First to win. How about it?
Yeah.
First of many, Coach Stokes says, as Gaither gets redemption from last year, their MVP quarterback, Alex Magoo. How impressed were you with the FIU commit and how he was able to lead his team back after being down early on to be able to win this thing?
No doubt. I'm glad we went with a 40-minute game so that we could see the tide turn both ways. Like I said, he willed his team to win earlier in the playoff system and into this game as well. So couldn't be more happy for him.
Well, our MVP, Brooke Bennett, has the MVP down there on the field. Brooke?
Well, first I'm going to start off with Coach Stokes because I know you've been here 3 years, 2 times in the finals, major redemption from last year. Tell me about this team behind you.
Let me tell you something. These kids, I know it's the old cliche, the cardiac kids, but, we earned this. No one gave us anything these past 2 days. We have a lot of kids out in camps and hurt and sick and couldn't make it. And our 2s and 1s and a halves, they stepped up. We didn't make any excuses. And I just love these boys, and I'll go to war with them anytime.
Talk to me just about playing in this championship game with Lakewood. They put up a great fight, great game out here today. Can you just tell me about facing them?
I'll tell you what, athlete for athlete, they're phenomenal. They have 3 or 4 freaks over there that we really don't have an answer for sometimes. But Cowboys, we always talk about finding a way. I can't believe, how athletic they are, and they got awesome coaching and they're disciplined, and they just play ball, and they're going to do awesome this year. And I wish all the love and luck to them.
Great. Well, thanks so much, Coach Stokes. Alex, come on over here, sporting the FIU hat. Congratulations on the MVP. Cheers. You have all the reason to be excited. Talk to to me about your boys out here and how you guys were able to overcome what you guys had to go through last year on this field.
Oh, yeah, last year was bad. I mean, it was just coming out getting embarrassed. But now this year we came back with attitude and just can't be beat, you know. And all my wide receivers, they stepped up today. Everybody stepped up defense, so shout out to them.
Talk to me about just making some of the adjustments. We saw in the first half you were really going for the deep ball, and then you kind of shortened your game up, and it seemed like you and your receivers just seemed to click at that point.
Well, I was trying to go for the home run every time, but now I realize just dink and dunk them. That's how you got to do it, and it showed off.
Alex, this is kind of the mark. You guys have a couple of weeks until conditioning. How hard have the Cowboys been working, and how ready are you ready to kind of take this performance and get it onto the field?
We've been working every day, I'll tell you that. It's hot in Florida, and it's just we grind every day. And it's a shout out to all these guys coming out every day and showing, you know, not showing, but acting their hardest, giving all they got. So that's a big thing.
Well, congratulations to you. Good luck for the rest of the summer. That was a spectacular BCP tournament for the 4th year in a row. I think the Cowboys are going to have to come back for that 5th year to try to reclaim this title.
Back-to-back, they got redemption after losing to Eastlake last year, the quarterback Alex Magoo. And funny enough, Jeff, he repeats exactly what you were saying. Early on in the game, throwing the deep balls, then he started to change his strategy, and look what happened.
Absolutely. You got to be efficient. It's real football, too. You got to be efficient. You got to make first downs, and then all of a sudden you get into the end zone.
Well, a happy birthday cheer going on as the Cowboys are your 9-root 7-on-7 champions. In this 4th year of the tournament, the Cowboys come back as they lost to Eastlake last year, but get the title this year, beating a very, very good Lakewood squad. For all of us here at Bright House Sports Network, our producer Chris McCulley, our fantastic crew that put on a great event, to Preston Jackson and Big County Preps, for all of us, Jeff Carlson, Brooke Bennett, I'm Ryan Bass. What a great ball game. Gaither 33, Lakewood 27. The Cowboys are your 2013 9-root 7-on-7 champions.